Hey everyone, and welcome. I am absolutely thrilled to have you here for another explainer. Today, we've got a fantastic, super focused breakdown on a topic that literally affects almost every single professional out there. Whether you're running the whole show or working inside a business, we're looking at the true measurable cost of weak business Wi-Fi. And trust me, the numbers we're going to look at today, they are going to completely change how you look at that little box blinking in the corner of your office forever. But before we begin, please press the like button and the subscribe button. Seriously, taking just a quick second to hit that subscribe button is, without a doubt, the best way to make sure you keep getting these structured, focused explainers right in your feed. We absolutely love taking these deep, data-driven dives into the essential operations of your business to give you real takeaways, and subscribing helps us keep bringing all that value right to you. Okay, let's dive into this. I want you to really think about this for a second. How much money is your Wi-Fi losing you right now? We so often think of slow internet as just, a minor annoyance, a little blip in our day. But the data we're unpacking today shows that those hidden costs, the buffering, the sluggish connections, they are quietly eating away at your bottom line in ways you probably haven't even quantified yet. Let's kick things off with Section 1, the Wi-Fi struggle, beyond the buffering wheel. I mean, we've all been there, right? Staring at that little spinning circle on our screens with this growing sense of dread and frustration. But we really need to separate that casual annoyance from the actual professional impact. Because for a small or medium-sized business, things like slow connections, dropped signals, and constant buffering, they're infinitely more serious than a delayed TikTok video or a stuttering Netflix movie at home. An occasional slow connection might just set you back a couple of minutes, sure. But when that connection is consistently sluggish, it absolutely stops being an annoyance and turns into a structural barrier to your work. Employees start losing focus, they start skipping necessary steps in a process, or worst of all, they just abandon critical tasks entirely because they're simply tired of waiting for the systems to respond. Which brings us to Section 2, time lost to lag, the hidden productivity killer. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is exactly where that casual annoyance transforms into a very real, measurable drain on your resources. It's time to stop guessing about how much time we lose to bad internet and look at the hard data. New research from Zen Internet has measured exactly how much time is bleeding out of the standard work week strictly due to Wi-Fi and connection issues. And the number? It's staggering. Small businesses are losing an average of 11 hours per week. Just let that sink in for a second. 11 hours a week. That's literally more than an entire standard workday completely evaporated, simply because the digital infrastructure wasn't keeping up. That is a massive setback for any team. So you might be wondering, why is the time loss so insanely high? Well, it's because every single interruption breaks deep focus. It's not just about the 30 seconds you wait for a web page to load, it's the mental cost of that delay. The research points out that every interruption caused by network downtime completely shatters an employee's concentration. And studies consistently show that once that deep focus is broken, it takes a really significant amount of time to get back into the zone. Multiply that delay across multiple interruptions every single day, and those hidden productivity costs become massively visible. And it gets worse, because this productivity drain only amplifies when we look at modern work environments. Remote and hybrid work arrangements have drastically increased the pressure on business Wi-Fi. Today, your employees are spread out everywhere, relying entirely on consistent connectivity to collaborate in real time. So a weak or unstable signal on just one end can keep an entire collaborating team waiting on a Zoom call or frozen on a shared document. They are literally waiting instead of working. And that productivity drain, it scales up with every single person involved. All right, let's move to Section 3. Slowdowns drain your revenue. The destructive ripple effect. The absolutely crucial point here is that we're no longer just talking about lost employee time or frustrated staff. We have to follow this problem all the way to its logical conclusion, your bank account. A slow business internet connection creates this destructive ripple effect that extends way beyond missed internal deadlines. This is a critical element of basic business operations. Look at this data from the IT solutions company Dado. They report that 4 out of 10 small and medium-sized businesses say internet and Wi-Fi problems directly affect their revenue. 4 out of 10. That's a 40% slice of businesses directly tying income loss to their internet connection. It's not just an IT issue, it's a fundamental business operations issue. When your connection drops, your revenue potential drops right alongside it. So how exactly does that revenue loss happen in the real world? Well, here's a very specific and painful example. System lags equal unhappy customers taking their business elsewhere. Just imagine you're interacting with a client. Maybe you're trying to pull up their account, process a payment, or do a live demo of a software product, and your system lags. Bam! The customer experience instantly degrades. In today's incredibly fast-paced market, an unhappy client waiting on your slow Wi-Fi is highly likely to just take their business to a competitor whose systems actually work. And this brilliantly illustrates the mental shift that has to happen. You see, a lot of small business owners still treat their internet like a simple light switch. This old mindset where it's either working or not working. If the little green lights on the router are blinking, hey, everything's totally fine, right? Well, actually, we need to move from that old binary mindset to a new one, a performance spectrum. There is a massive, massive gap between a network that is completely down and a network that's actually performing at the high speeds your growing business needs to operate smoothly. So, let's get into solutions. Section 4, how to fix your connection. And hey, no massive overhaul required. The really good news here is that improving your connectivity and stopping this revenue drain doesn't necessarily mean you have to rip out the walls and rebuild your entire digital infrastructure from scratch. The sources actually outline a very logical, structured progression for assessing your network. Step 1, identify your network weak spots. You need to find out exactly where in the building the signal is dropping. Step 2, test your speeds during peak hours. Your internet might be blazingly fast at 6 a.m., but how does it actually hold up at 2 p.m. when the whole team is uploading files and doing video calls? And step 3, match your internet plan to your actual usage. Honestly, you might just be outgrowing that basic package you signed up for 3 years ago. Once you've identified those weak spots and tested your usage, the physical fixes are actually quite straightforward. You might just need to upgrade your routers to handle higher bandwidth. You might need to add a few access points around the office to completely eliminate those dead zones. Or if the service itself is the bottleneck, it might simply be time to switch to a more reliable internet service provider. These are highly targeted, actionable steps that can make a huge, huge difference once you know where the real issues are. All right, let's wrap this up with Section 5. Stop accepting the slowdown. We need to treat Wi-Fi as a measurable metric. The overarching theme of all this data is that weak Wi-Fi has become way too normalized. We've kind of just accepted it as a fact of life, haven't we? Employees quietly create these little workarounds for the slow connection rather than complaining about it to management. But as the source material so powerfully puts it, that silence is expensive. I absolutely love that quote. It perfectly captures the danger of just ignoring this issue. When your team stops complaining and just accepts the slowdown, you are quietly bleeding those 11 hours a week, and you are quietly degrading your customer experience. You absolutely must treat your business Wi-Fi performance as a critical, measurable metric, not just some IT afterthought. So I want to leave you with one final thought, kind of returning to where we started today. What is weak Wi-Fi costing your business today? Between the broken concentration, the waiting teams, the frustrated customers, and the direct measurable hit to your revenue, can you really afford to let your network performance remain a mystery? It's time to test those speeds, upgrade those routers, and reclaim your productivity. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Now go check your connection.